the big news that's just broken regarding county cricket, and that is that Essex have been charged with failing to address systemic racist language or conduct by the cricket regulator, which was a regulator set up by the English Cricket Board, which is independent of the ECB, to look into matters like this. Essex have been charged by the regulator for failing to address systemic racist language or conduct between 2001 and 2010. Azeem, what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I think, look, it's been going on in the background for a while. It's important to deal with it. I think in roundabout ways, I think they've got to the right position in terms of, charging the club, not the individuals. My understanding is one of the reasons that ECB couldn't charge the individuals were that the guys who raised the allegations that have been upheld in the report didn't want to play a part in the ECB investigation because of a lot of stuff that went on with my experience of that. So I think that leaves the ECB in no position but not to charge the individuals. And actually, I think it's the best outcome. I don't think going through anyone will want to go through that, and I don't think that will have helped anyone anyway. The individual nature of it. So I think we've got to a situation which they've been charged. Now there's going to be a hearing. Precedent has been set with Yorkshire, so I think it's going to be pretty much a similar sort of sanction end for Essex. And
do you think it should be then 48 points in the Championship? £400,000 fine, 4 points in the T20 Blast. That's what happened to Yorkshire. Do you think something similar should happen to Essex?
I think it'll have to be. I mean, I don't know the legalities around the Essex stuff. Some of the Yorkshire sanctions were not even sanctions because, they got the Blast points, which the tournament had finished. I think the final was about to happen. So I think in a way it doesn't really matter. It's what happens from now. Sanctions and all this stuff. I mean, we've spoken on the different podcasts about, how do we get solutions? It's what Essex and cricket does from now, and how it gets to a point that this doesn't happen again, but also, learn from what's gone on. I think that should be the message. But, it feels weird praising the ECB, but I think they've got to a pretty good outcome here, and I think once the dust is settled, everyone should be looking to how to make sure that things do change.
And you mentioned there the individuals concerned and not wanting to go public. Do you totally understand where they're coming from?
Yeah, I mean, look, I've spoken to them, right, and they've seen what that entails. I don't think I don't think that's something that they wanted to put themselves and their family through, and completely understandable. Why would you? And again, thinking of the wider cause, I'm not sure it helps anyone anyway. There's absolutely no winners. For them individuals, I'm really happy they've got to a position where, they're happy of the outcome, and that's important. I think Essex and those on the other side should, count themselves lucky in some ways, but also, now make sure that this doesn't happen again.
Aatif, do you think this shows we've still got a long way to go in sorting out our own house in terms of county cricket, English cricket, in terms of eradicating discrimination completely?
Without a doubt. I hope nobody thought it was seriously going to be a case of a couple of cases, it'll be one awkward summer, and then we move on, right? This is like a generational thing. Like, there's going to be work that needs to be done over the next 5, 6, 7, 10 years, really, to make sure that that this game is accessible for everybody, that people do feel like it's something that they want their family members, their children to be involved with. Like, there's a lot of reason not to be at the moment, is the truth. And it's something that, it sort of avoids mainstream discussion still because it's uncomfortable. It's uncomfortable to talk about, but it's a very necessary discomfort for cricket to go through. It's very necessary for us to go through this, to come out cleaner the other side, and to come out better the other side. So, this is going to be, it's going to be a difficult scenario for a lot of different people. There'll be a lot of discussion and debate, whether it's the right thing or whether it's the right punishment, whether it's the right whatever. I think all of that discourse is helpful, and hopefully it'll continue until we get to a point where we don't have to have it anymore.